Let's talk drums, shall we? These presentations are brought to you by the nonprofit organization Jazz Arts Project. Welcome to a new series of video blogs. Vlogs, I guess. Or as I like to refer to them, as vexing video vignettes. Some of these will be culled from our previous virtual presentations and live streams. We've been preparing these shorter and, we hope, interesting snippets for your viewing pleasure. And if you like what you see here, please like us on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, visit our website at jazzartsproject.org. As we've seen in our previous episodes, drumming is just about as old as mankind. Paleoanthropologists have revealed that the ancient cousins of Homo sapiens, the Neanderthals in the Crimea, may have had music from drums and bone flutes as long as 100,000 years ago. The only surviving specimens are bone flutes and whistles, although it's thought that drums would have been used as well, but were long decayed due to the eons of passing time. From as early as 6000 BCE, we have dug up the first intact ancient drum from Mesopotamia, a region roughly around the modern-day Iraq. Since we humans seem to need complex communication, whether through speech or pictures or through music, early drummers may have been charged several duties, including relaying information across the wilds from tribe to tribe, or perhaps only for the weekly sock hop. We just aren't sure. We can guess that it would have been the birth of the original musician's story of lore, perhaps. It seems a young prehistoric whippersnapper sitting by the fire, asking way too many questions. And the one persistent question he kept asking the village elder was, "What's up with all those drums?" Indeed, there were drums constantly echoing through the village. "Not to worry, young lad," the elder said. "Drums good. Drums good. Drums stop very bad." So this went on day after day. The incessant questions about drumming, and always the same answer. Drums stop very bad. Drums stop very bad. Until one day, the drums suddenly stopped. And the lad came running, screaming, "Drums stop very bad. Drums stop very bad. What does it mean?" The elder said, "Drums stop very bad. Yes, indeed. Drums stop bass solo." And so it goes. Various cultures develop different sounds and rhythmic variations. Drums are used in various settings and soon became useful in military marches to keep the men together and in line and in step. Rented a tent. In his book, The Sirens of Titan, author Kurt Vonnegut writes of a futuristic, dim-witted private named Unk, who, like most of the soldiers in the Martian army, is controlled by a small antenna implanted in his head. This makes the drumbeat of a military march infectiously demanding of action. Rented a tent, a tent, a tent, rented a tent, a tent, a tent, rented a tent, rented a tent, rented a tent. Right. Okay, so we come out of the army and hear all these instruments, including these huge marching drums. When people figured out that one person could play both the big bass drum and the snare drum while using a foot pedal to play cymbals at the same time, it brought music indoors and evolved into ragtime, Dixieland, and early jazz. The amalgamation of cultures, this melting pot of sounds and traditions from all over the world, and the beats becoming more and more syncopated, kind of conspired to put together what we now know as the modern drum set. Due to the increasing influence and popularity of African and Caribbean rhythms, early kits would include a variety of woodblocks and tambourines from African traditions, tom-toms based on the cylindrical-shaped tuned drums of China and Japan, the big bass drum, now pared down a bit with a foot pedal added, and finally cymbals, many of them made by a Turkish immigrant named Avidas Zildjian III, who brought with him his family's tradition of cymbal making that dated back to 1623 in Constantinople. So a musician could now sit down and use all available limbs to drive his music to more and more exciting flights of fancy. In the 1930s, drummers became more known and more influential in moving the music forward in innovation and style. People like Chick Webb, Papa Joe Jones, Gene Krupa, and eventually Buddy Rich carved out a more integral place in the ensemble and led the way to a more melodic and interactive manner of playing drums. The drum set itself was early on called traps because it became a mash of all kinds of extra pieces, and it was thought of as a contraption and then shortened to traps. Now sometimes it's called a kit or skins, depending on how hip you are. Of course, the drum set evolved over the years as the music and the technology changed, but some players are content still with a basic 5-piece set of bass drum, tom-tom, floor tom, hi-hat, and cymbals, while others go for a bit more, shall we say, enhanced. So, as I said, over the years, the art of the drummer has evolved. In all genres and in all areas of the world, drums are represented one way or another in all music. Some of the most significant jazz musicians who have advanced the art of drumming, not only in jazz, but in all kinds of music, from early on, were people like Baby Dodds, Gene Krupa, Chick Webb, Buddy Rich, Papa Joe Jones, Sonny Payne, Philly Joe Jones, Kenny Clarke, Elvin Jones, Art Blakey, Max Roach, Roy Haynes, Tony Williams, Billy Cobham, Terry Lynn Carrington, Jimmy Cobb, Steve Gadd, Jeff Tain Watts, Billy Hart, and our friend Bernard Pretty Purdie, creator of the Purdie Shuffle. I'm sure there are many more that I didn't mention, but these are among those who helped to transform drumming into the high art form it is today. So whatever music floats your boat, you can be sure drummers involved, helping you feel the groove or set the mood, or getting that toe of yours tapping along.
You also got to remember that songs have to groove.